Hello everyone, I am Andranali, the Bazooka Prophet. Now in this particular video, right, I'm going to be talking about the question that was brought out in Chemistry 2026, right, WAEC Practical yesterday. Now, it will have made a lot of students all around Nigeria, right, they actually took that exam and they were surprised that they changed the particular question inside the hall because it was it was made known that the question that the first set leaked out. So inside the hall they changed it, right, to a reaction involving ethanoic acid and potassium hydroxide to give us potassium ethanoate and H2O. Now, I did like to encourage every one of us to imbibe the culture of studying, because a nation cannot grow if there is no much input in the educational sector. So I use this my video to beg the federal government to look for a way to curb examination malpractice so that everyone can be studying. Those days when we hear of WAEC examination, we want to study, we want to put in the input, we want to sacrifice our midnight into studying. But these days it is not like that. But thank God for some schools that are still upholding the dignity and the morals of WAEC. Now this is the WAEC question, so I want to take my time to solve it and address it. So I encourage every tutor, every teacher all around the world to teach students so that we can build a generation of moral, perfect students, right? Because it's so rampant. So without wasting much time, we're going to be taking our time to solve this question that was brought out yesterday afresh inside the hall. And the question says, A is 0.1 mole per dm cube ethanoic acid, B is 6.0 gram per dm cube impure potassium hydroxide. And these are the illustration. Say put A in the burette and titrate it against 20 cm cube or 25 cm cube portion of B using methyl orange. Now, there was some argument. Some persons were like, WAEC would have used phenolphthalein because normally this is between a weak acid and a strong base, and any reaction involving a strong acid, a weak acid and a strong base, we use phenolphthalein. A strong acid and a strong base, we use any indicator, but a strong acid and a weak base, we use either methyl orange or methyl red. But in this particular video, they ask us to use methyl what? Orange. So we have to follow the instruction of WAEC. No teacher has the right to alter the question because you didn't set the question, right? So it is the instruction of WAEC. This is like a plea to teachers. I know most of us are oversabi. Yes, oversabi. You don't correct WAEC. You follow the instructions that they gave to you, and you get your endpoint, and you do your recordings, you tabulate your readings and all. Now the question says, it said, okay, methyl orange as indicator, repeat the titration to obtain concordant titer values, tabulate your readings, tabulate your result, and calculate the average volume of acid used. The equation of the reaction is given below. When you do the reaction, right, the value that you should obtain should be from 23 and above, right? Yes, from 23 and above. But I got 24.50 cm cube as my average volume of acid used, which I'll be using, right? And every school should have their own title value, which they have to record and record in a sheet and give to WAEC that WAEC will use to mark their students. Is that understood now? So we're going to be solving this question, creating the table. So right now, let us go in details to the question. All right, now we move ahead to solve the first question, which is the question 1A. Now, in the space provided for you, the first thing you are to do, because this one carries the highest mark here, the first thing you are to do is to bring out the things that you were given in the question. You were given that A is 0.110 mole per dm cube ethanoic acid, B is 6.0 gram per dm cube impure potassium hydroxide. Then you write your average volume of A used, you do not know yet, even though I already have my own to be this, which I'm going to construct my table. Follow me. The pipette volume of B, of course, we use 25 cm cube. That's the volume of the pipette. For the indicator, we make use of methyl orange because that is what WAEC asks us to use. The endpoint, at the end of the day, it will turn from yellow to a permanent orange coloration as your endpoint, as your indicator. Is that understood now? So when it turns from yellow to orange, then you stop and you take your reading and tabulate. The equation, you will put the equation like this: ethanoic acid plus potassium hydroxide will give him potassium ethanoate and H2O. And as such, the ratio of the acid to the potassium hydroxide is 1:1, so that my Na, the number of mole of the acid to the number of mole of the base, is 1:1. So this is what you just bring out and put, even though WAEC has already given you the question, but you bring them out and you write it in the space provided for you. Then you start to fill in your table. This is my table. Now, since I already have my endpoint, if you have your endpoint, right, you can always construct your table. Now, I will make my rough here to be 0.00. I can take it to be 25.00. Then my initial, I will just take all to be this. Remember, to two decimal places. I come here, put here 24.50, 24.45, then 24.55, right? So that when I subtract, because it will be the final minus the initial, will give me the volume of A used. There will be 25.00, there will be 24.50, 24.45, and 24.55, right? So you come here to say the average volume of A used will now be equal to the first plus the second titre plus the third titre divided by what now? 3. And the first titre here is 24.50 plus 24.45 plus 24.55 divided by what? 3. When you do it, your final answer will give me, right, 24 point what now? 50 cm cube. This is how to answer the first question that WAEC gave to you in your 1A. Then in our next video, we'll take care of the what and the second part, which involves the calculation. So do well to like, share, subscribe to everyone who wrote yesterday paper. Let them know that this is the complete analysis of it. My name still remains Dr. Andranalin, the Bazooka Prophet, CEO, Andranalin Global Online Tutorial Platform. Thank you and God bless you.